Welcome. Action Speaks, Gloria Keith, and we will continue with our readings of important information, research, studies, and history of giftedness to authenticate the production of my new book, Every Child Born Gifted. Thank you for listening, and you won't regret the information that you are receiving at this time. You will have as much knowledge as I do in reference to the gifted with my book, of course, and the research and study. Racial centralities influence on the adjustment of gifted African Americans, however, may not be direct. Centrality may instead act as a moderator of the influence of race-related variables on adjustment. For instance, Rowley, Sellers, Chauvis, and Smith, 1998, studied the relationship between racial regard, that is, an individual's effective evaluation of African Americans, and self-esteem in a sample of African American adolescents and a sample of African American college students. While there was a modest relationship between private regard, the individual's level of group esteem, racial pride, and self-esteem for the overall group, this relationship was moderated by centrality. Private regard only predicted self-esteem for those students with relatively high levels of centrality. Evaluations of the positive or negative attributes of other African Americans did not predict self-evaluation for those students with low levels of centrality, for whom race was presumably less important. Students with relatively high or low centrality may also be less likely to perceive. Let me read that again. Students with relatively low centrality may also be less likely to perceive ambiguous acts as racial discrimination and may be less bothered by isolation from other African American peers that may be more prevalent in the gifted classroom. On the other hand, students with higher levels of centrality may draw strength from those or from their strong racial identity. This research and other studies demonstrating the centrality moderator effect, see Rowley, 1997, Sellers, ETAL, 1998, suggests that race is not necessarily important to all African Americans, and that African American students can feel good about themselves without focusing on their racial group. There may be those students who focus on another identity, such as gender or religion, for whom the issue of race is less important. In fact, a number of studies have demonstrated that African Americans often mention identities other than race in self-descriptions. Cross, 1991. Cross, Strauss, and Flagen, Smith, 1998. Ingram, 1989. Finney and Alaperia, 1990. Whether or not this pattern holds for high achieving or gifted students has not been examined. However, these studies bring up the possibility that the debate over whether a pro-African American or a pro-white identity is more adaptive for gifted African American students may be short-sighted. This is all we will read today, and the next session will be a phenomenal view of racial identity. Thank you. May God bless you. And please read for your information on the gifted so that you will be well prepared to receive your book on Every Child Born Gifted by Gloria J. Keith. Thank you, and may God bless you.